All right, we're live again. Day 16, Smart Money Reset. Wise man, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, we are at least we have concluded all the lovers session. Valentine's Day, day before yesterday. Yesterday we wrapped it up. For those who didn't have opportunity to celebrate on Saturday, they did on Sunday,
Yeah.
and we can't afford to not celebrate love because love
Mhm.
is the most important thing.
Yes. So.
So it's been an awesome time.
Mhm.
Today is day 16, and it looks like just yesterday that we started, and we are rolling. We are rolling.
Yeah.
So we want to thank everyone who has been joining us and to say welcome to another edition of the Smart Money Reset. This is going to be an awesome discussion. I told you we're going to have some very strong discussions today.
Mhm.
Beyond our topic, we're going to go deep down into some things that we're going to be talking about today. So, doctor, over to you. The 50-30-20 rules.
Hmm.
When to break it.
Interesting. I love breaking rules because most of the times, whenever rules are made, they are made to restrict people. Does that mean we should not always obey rules? Yes, we should obey rules, but it is okay to question things at times because you might not even know the reason why those rules were set. There was this story of a young lady that approached her mom and and asked her mom a question. I observed that every time you are frying maybe plantain or whatever, let me use plantain for the purpose of explanation, that you always
For the purpose
use,
of the people that like plantain, like me.
yeah, that
Me,
you're
I can
always
eat I
using,
can eat plantain with anything. I
yeah.
can eat plantain and eba.
So I
Just on a
think,
lighter mood.
yeah, the question was, why are you always using this small frying pan, And interestingly, you know what the mom told her? Because per time, that fry pan can only take four. So imagine if you have a large family, the number of times you will fry before it can go around. So when the young lady asked the mom said, actually, that's how my own mom normally does it. When she taught me to make plantain, it is always four per time. Fortunately, the mom, that is the grandma to this young girl, was still alive. So when she had opportunity to be with her own grandma, which is her mom's mom, she realized that that's what she does too. And she said, Grandma, what's happening? Why is it that whenever you are frying this plantain, you only fry four per time, And the grandma said, actually, that was how my great grandma taught me to do it. Unfortunately, the great grandma was still around, alive, old, and almost going to her grave. And this young lady approached her to ask, Great grandma, I have asked my mother and my grandmother the reason why they only fry four plantain per time. And they both kept saying their mom told them. So when she asked the great grandma, smiled and was like, actually, during our own time, we only had that size of fry pan available to fry the plantain, and it could only take four. So the reason why I normally do it 4-4 was because the frying pan could only take four. But I did that for so many years that your grandmother thought that that should be the way to fry plantain, four per time. And your mom saw your grandmother did it, and your mom continued. So obviously, it wasn't a rule that you must fry four per time. It was the size of the fry pan that was small, that could not take more than four. So when I say you should challenge rules at times, it is just to get to know, why are these things this way? and if you must change it, why you should change it. And I'm speaking mostly to those that have traces of poverty around them, and we'll analyze what poverty is later. But for now, we want to discuss the 50, 30, 20 rules. Now, there's nothing bad with this rule, and I must come out straight to you. For anyone that is on the journey to financial freedom, you must at least start from here. What does the 50, 30, 20 rule says? 50% of your income should go towards taking care of needs. And if you have been following this series, we have taken time to analyze what true needs are. What are your needs? We've been able to analyze them. And we're talking about things like your rent and your utilities, your health care, your groceries, things that you can't do without, that has to be available for you to live sustainably. 50% of your income should go to that. 30% of your income should go towards your wants. Many people desire certain lifestyle, at least the things that will make you happy, at least that will make you feel like you are getting rewarded for the work that you have done. In some cases, it might be finances, some hobbies that you like. Once in a while, eating out is not a bad idea. You want to go on vacations. There are some subscriptions that you feel having them makes you feel happy. So the 50, 30, 20 rule says 30% should take care of your wants, while the remaining 20% should go to your savings. And we have also taken time to analyze savings in the course of this series. We have talked about emergency fund, if you can remember, a fraction of your income that should build up to form minimum 6 months earning for you, such that if you don't work for 6 months, you can still sustain your life. Remember, we talked about retirement accounts too, that there's nothing bad that from that money you are earning now, 2,000, $10, 50,000 naira, let something be going towards your retirement planning. For those of us that want to buy assets and you need to put money together to buy it, you want to buy a house and maybe you need to put 10%, 5%, 10% as down payment. That is what this savings does for you. Or for those of us that are owing and you need to pay down your debt so that you can reset your finances. When you save, you are able to take a fraction of those savings to take care of your debt. So if you look at it, the 50, 30, 20 rule talks about your needs, your wants, and your savings. That is like the foundation for building financial freedom. But what we are discussing today is, must you go by these rules? Are you permitted to break these rules? When should you break these rules? And I'm glad to share practical experience with you about our own lives. Sincerely, it depends on how desperate you are to come out from the poverty trap. That is what will determine whether you want to follow this rule or you want to break it and do it your own way. One of the things that helped us in life was that we learned early enough that poverty is expensive. Poverty is expensive. You may need to write that down. More expensive than being wealthy. And in case you want to argue with me how expensive poverty is, I will quickly run some numbers for you to see. Number one, a poor man cannot buy something in bulk because he can't afford it. And those that are able to buy in bulk, they buy cheaper. Let's take an example. A poor man will buy 1 derica of rice, 2 cups of rice. I wouldn't know how much they sell that now. But a rich man will likely buy a bag of rice. By the time you weigh how much it costs to buy 1 derica of rice, it can be coming to like 5,000 naira. And in 1 bag of rice, maybe you have 64 dericas. By the time you multiply 64 by 5,000, it will be giving you some crazy amount. And a bag of rice might be going for just 100,000. But if you are buying per derica, by the time you are done buying one bag of rice, you would have spent maybe 150 or 180,000. You see how expensive poverty can be. What about when you want to buy things? A poor man in most cases will likely buy fake things that will not last, poor quality. We went out a few days ago with White Man, and he saw a shoe that I was putting on, a winter. Okay, he had to ask me, is this a winter boot here? He asked that question because everywhere was snow and the shoe was looking so fine. So you wouldn't expect that I would wear it out during winter. And I responded by saying, yes, actually it's a winter boot. It's just looking fanciful. And I told him I bought this winter boot 2019. And I've not had to buy any other one since then. When I raised it up, the sole still looked as new as day one when it was purchased. Everything looking crispy and clean after almost 6 or 7 years now. Now, I bought a winter jacket, the same winter jacket I bought 2019. I still have it up till now, and it's the winter jacket I'm still using. After then, I bought a winter jacket, $600 and something. I bought those shoes maybe about $400 and something. Now, many people that bought winter jackets of maybe $50, $100, I've had to change it a number of times between 2019 and now, and they have had to change their shoes. So you see that when a rich man, permit me to say, buys a shoe for $50 and uses the shoe for 10 years. Now, the poor man buys a shoe for $10 but uses it for 1 year. Let's quickly do the math. In 10 years, the average amount the rich man has spent on shoe is $5 because he had that shoe for 10 years. The poor man buys a $10 shoe every year. In 10 years, how much will the poor man spend? $100 on shoes. So you see how expensive poverty can be, and why you and I should make up our mind that we must come out of the poverty trap. Another way you can see how expensive poverty is when you want to borrow money as a poor man. Now, the rich can negotiate the rate. The poor does not have option. You even beg to get the loan. You write application. You, in fact, go and bring your father's house, your mother's grave, and at the end of the day, you will pay 60% per annum because they are asking you to pay 5% per month. So at the end of the year, 60% per annum. But you didn't know because they will only give you the loan for 3 months, 6 months to quickly pay back. Why? The lender is afraid that you are high risk. You might not be able to pay back. So it's giving you high interest so that if you don't pay, they can use the money of another person that paid that thing to cover for your own losses. Number two, he wants you to pay quickly because it's not comfortable leaving the money in your hand for too long. But when the rich wants to borrow, the rich borrows in the same economy at maximum 30%. When you are borrowing at 60%, the rich even has options because different people will be reaching out to him to come and borrow money to do business. So if you look at all of this, you tell yourself, I don't want to remain in the poverty trap. I want to come out of it. Coming out of it at times might require breaking the rule and rearranging the 50, 30, 20. I'll come back to talk more on my own advice on how to break the rules. But this is just to set the foundation how that the 50, 30, 20 rule is not a bad idea depending on where you are. In fact, it is the starting point. But if you are aggressive, if you are desperate for a change, then you may need to change or break the rules. Wise man, over to you, please.
That was an elaborate, in Bible study, there's what we call biblical exegesis. This is financial exegesis. Let me pick it from where you stopped, and it will be good to do this analysis so that people can understand. And we may now discuss it and now come up with possible solutions that can help people really relate. To be sincere, the rich will always rule over the poor. The lender is master to the borrower, especially when the borrower borrows to feed or fund liabilities. The only time the borrower and the lender is on the same page is when the borrower borrows for assets. That's the only time the borrower and the lender is on the same page. So anytime somebody becomes rich, just go and check it. Some people came together to make the person rich. Don't argue with it. Don't argue with it, please. Some people like to argue with a truth because they have not accepted it, all right? But sometimes a statement may not make sense to you. Immediately you had the statement. It might be a few years later that you will now begin to relate with the statement, all right? Anytime you find somebody who becomes rich, some people came together to make that person rich. So if you become rich tomorrow, go and check it. There were people who came together to make you rich. It's a common community that brings about anybody who becomes rich. So what we are saying in essence is you must be able to identify that and look out for ways to find yourself in that point where anything that is rallying around you is contributing as your leverage to the next level. So truly, all right, I hate to say it this way, but the poor is funding the rich. Take it or leave it. The poor funds the rich. I give you other examples. Most of the people who own the houses that we live in any part of the world is, in quotes, the rich. All right? And you have to go and work, just the way they say it in America. I don't want to mention it here. You work everything out just to pay that bill, just to pay the rent. If you calculate today, you will discover that almost 50% of most people's income, especially people who are not earning on the very high level, is going for rent. An average person, 50% goes for rent. You see somebody who is earning maybe 500,000 naira per month, all right? That means he earns 6 million per annum. But he lives in a house of 3 million per annum. 50% of the rent will go for that. And who is collecting it? The rich, the landlord. We all carry our money and we go and put it in the bank. And we say we want to keep it secured. Secured. And there's nothing wrong with it, it's good. But a poor man doesn't own bank. A poor man is not a banker. Some of these things we are saying is to annoy somebody today to say, come, I can never be poor again for the rest of my life. A poor man does not own a bank. Myself and Doctor talking today, we own a bank. All right, not just a bank. We own a bank. We own a fintech. All right, and people put money there. Now, one of the things we are now doing is that we're now giving people opportunity to be part of that bank. All right, we'll get to talk about it very well. Just in case you want to hear about it, all right, just scan the code on the screen or go to the bit.ly link and tell them, I want to hear more about the bank. It is not anybody that will speak to you, it's two of us will speak to you about the bank so that you get to know about the bank, all right? We'll give you enough information that you need to get, all right? So, the poor cannot own bank. The poor can only own bank by this system that we are creating. All right, that's one. Look at the resources that is flowing in the world today. It doesn't really revolve around the poor. It revolves more around the rich. But mind you, there is a lot of resources in the hand of the poor. But because most of the people who have these resources don't know the worth of these resources, they are not able to put the right value on the resources. So somebody's asking me, because it's like we're annoying people today, but somebody's asking me, Mr. Wisdom, how do I get out of this? How do I enter into the circle of the rich? I'm going to tell you. But before I tell you that, I want to also tell you one that is a regular thing that you do. Hope you know that when they say a a tin, a tin of milk, right, is sold for maybe today in Nigeria, maybe 10,000 naira. But they say a sachet of that milk is sold for 300 naira. To you, you think it's cheap, but it's more expensive, because by the time you start removing all the cost of the sachets, the cost of the packaging, the cost, everything is put inside them. So at the end of the day, all those sachet thing they are doing is just to help you, it's just to help affordability, not necessarily being less expensive. So it means that the poor will still spend even much more at the end of the day. A lot of things we do, a lot. Is it better to pay insurance than to own the insurance company? This master class, I don't know that.
So we have moved to phase two, the second half of it. So we should expect more of this second half till the end of
you
the.
you know, every month I know how much I pay for insurance here. Annually, I know how much I pay for insurance in the cars I own in Nigeria. Now, who is really making it? Is it the insurance payer or the insurance owner? In this part of the world, the insurance companies are the biggest companies ever, because they get regular payments that does not translate to much. You have 1 million people paying, but inside 1 million people, maybe 10 people will have accidents. There's enough money to take care of them. They use the money to invest into different things. They don't even pay you anything, nothing in return. I feel that somebody should come up with an insurance company that insures vehicles, but I have some points that you can claim after some years if you don't have accident. Something like that. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if there are, but I just feel that something like that can be. That I can claim something. I know there's one for life insurance. If something does not happen, there can be something. There should be one for car insurance too. Because if you know how much I paid, you know that you pay more for insurance than you pay for the car.
Yeah.
In a year, you can pay the exact amount you used to buy the car to insurance in a year, because you are driving a car. So what we are saying is, let's begin to look at it. The reason for 50, 30, 20, whatever the rules you have designed by yourself, the reason is so that you will have enough resources to join the league of wealthy people. And how do you join the league of wealthy people? Is to begin to do the things that wealthy people do. Wealthy people own real estate. They don't joke with it.
Yeah.
Wealthy people own banks. They don't joke with it. Wealthy people own farms. They don't joke with it. Wealthy people, they invest in their education, e-track. They don't joke with it. All this is, I'm telling you, wealthy people, they invest in natural resources. They go on exploration. They invest in different things. That they invest in insurance. They have insurance companies. They have telecommunication companies. Go and check the list of the richest people in the world today. In their portfolio, you find 1, 2, or 3 of these things I have mentioned. Now it's AI. And now we are building technology that is AI enabled. All right. 2 of the applications we are building is AI focused. So investing in the bank right now is one of the best things you can do, because what we're doing is integrating AI into banking. And that feature is coming up. And in our team, we have people who have PhD in artificial intelligence. So that's to show you how much we are doing. Now, so that's one of the ways you begin to act like the rich. You get your own rule, whether you want to do it 50, 25, 25, that's your own. Maybe whether you want to do it 20, maybe 30, 20, anyhow you want to do it, write the rules. But the reason why you are applying this rule is because you want to enroll in that circle of the rich. And let me tell you something. I mentioned something earlier on, that the money in the hand of the poor is almost as equal as the money in the hand of the rich. But you know the challenge? Most poor people don't come together. If poor people, and I'm using the word poor people now, but maybe people who are not very wealthy, can pool resources together, what you can achieve with what we call commonwealth, shared prosperity, is far, far more than what we can achieve doing it individually. I was in a conference where I was speaking, and we're just talking about different real estate, this real estate, that, how that they are disturbing us, how that the government is not helping us, and a lot of things people were talking about. I say, look, that the reason why the government, many of the things they are doing and many of the things we are facing, the reason why it's coming on us is because we're not powerful enough. That if we come together, and inside that room, I have men, people that you call men and brethren, men of timber, of caliber, of caterpillar, of gongoro, of all kinds. And I was pointing at them one after the other. I called the first one. I said, if I ask you that all you need to do is to ensure that every month you give me 100 million naira, can you afford it? Say I can afford it. If 10 of us come together and we are pulling together 100 million naira every month, we'll be able to have 1 billion naira. And tell me what project we cannot face with that kind of resources. Over a period of time, we will be doing projects that are massive. But you see, there are many people who are poor, but they don't have any circle that they can belong to. So I want to recommend the ones that you are used to right now. Join a cooperative if you can. Join an investment system like all the ones who have been introduced to you. All right. Look out for those things, because the wholesale that you would have bought that you cannot afford, if you come together, you can afford it. I can afford 10,000 naira, but goat is being sold for 100,000 naira. If I have 10 of us come together, we can buy one goat and we kill it. We all have the price that the rich we usually will have, even though we did not have the money of the rich. And by so doing, we start increasing. But the ultimate of it is to get to the point where you now begin to own the things that the rich own. The rich, the mentality of the rich is ownership. The mentality of the poor is loanership. The rich owns, the poor loans. You don't want to get yourself into that circle. You must begin to think in that direction. So the reason why we are asking you to have this rule activated in your finances is so that you can join the league of the rich. Begin to think like them, talk like them, but more importantly, act like them. Like what I've always said here, that the rich don't want you to join them. The poor don't want you to leave them. It's your choice to make. You must leave the poor and you must join the rich by doing the things that we're talking about. Well, let's leave it on this level for now. And we'll go deeper. Doctor, over to you.
All right, thank you so much. That was explicit and eye-opening. I say, I would just want to help those listening to us today. We have been hearing the word poor, 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 poor. I know that's not the word you want to hear.
The day until you hear the word poor and it no longer disturbs you, that's the day you are delivered.
So it's good that that word annoys you today. But let me now define who a poor man is. There's internal poverty and there's external poverty. For everyone following us here, please, the worst thing that can happen to you is to experience internal poverty. That is the real poverty. So each time you hear the word poor, poor, don't let it irritate you. You are not the poor person we are talking about if you know and follow the principles that we teach. For you, you are in a training school. You are in a transition, moving from one phase to another. The poor man that is poor internally has an operating system that is defective. And once something is wrong with the operating system that drives your life, the outcome of your life will never be amazing. So, what we're doing right now is to ensure that you have the right operating system. We don't want you to operate with a damaged processor. Every time you operate with a damaged processor, automatically your brain will be in a survival mode. And that's the natural habitat of the poor. The poor man's brain is always in a survival mode. And it is impossible for you to solve a long-term complex problem with that kind of mindset. So you must first ensure that your mind aligns with what we are saying. Don't be poor internally. People might look around you, and what you have around you makes it look like you are poor because they can't see the flashy things yet. But that's not what defines a poor person or a rich person. There are many rich people today that don't go flashy. You can't even know that they are rich because they don't do what's they call trends. They don't do what do you call expensive wristwatches.
They don't do money na water.
They don't do money na water. So they don't do that. They don't wear brands. They just live. They just do their day. But they are not poor. So what we're talking about today is actually people that are poor internally. So if you see us hammering poverty, we want to delete that poverty software and inoculate into you a new operating system that will help you function like a rich man. Because the operating system in a rich man is different from the operating system in a poor man. And it is the operating system that drives what happens. The processor in a poor man is different from the processor in a rich man. That's why when information comes, they process it differently. When they find themselves in situation, they think differently. Money in the hand of the poor is for spending. Money in the hand of the rich is for investing, is for assets. And it is the way they both process it. It's money. It's the same money. $500 in the hand of the poor is thinking of what is the next luxury item I can afford so that I can look rich. $500 in the hand of the rich is thinking, how do I multiply this money so that I can someday become the owner of the luxury brand company? You see, different people think in different ways. And even if you find yourself as a poor person today, by our definition, please don't react. Be proactive. Don't be reactive. You don't need to react. You don't need to get angry. Let whatever we are saying right now instigate you in a positive direction. And tell yourself, I no longer want to belong to that definition of poverty that has been given today. And for you to come out of that, there are a few traps that you will need to escape. Because most of the time, poverty comes in form of a trap. It holds you down and you cannot move forward. The first one we want to address is the scarcity trap. An average poor person thinks from the angle of scarcity. They don't see resources as available. So whatever they have, they hold on to it too much. And the problem with holding on too much is that we have told you earlier that any money that is idle, time will always punish idle money. So the poor man is thinking, Why should I take risk with the little that I have? What if I lose it totally? So we have talked about different investments in the course of this series. And an average person that is poor is not thinking of taking advantage of any. In fact, is thinking that I cannot even afford it. They've been talking about land. They've been talking about farm way, farm origin, cassava island, Eden, all of it. Rather than asking, how can I afford it? What can I do to get into the game? That's how the rich think. The rich does not necessarily need to have the money in their bank account, but they must question the possibility of getting it done. The difference between the rich and the poor is they choose the kind of soil to build on. The poor man wants to build a skyscraper on a swampy land, and he's not draining the water first. You know already that mindset will even make the poor, when they want to do investment, it will be the wrong investment. That's why they invest in MMN, in what's this other one, CBES, and all the likes. That's trying to build a skyscraper on a swampy land, and you have not drained the water. What will happen? It will come collapsing. But the rich is looking for stability. It might take a while. You want to build a skyscraper, right? What do? Even if the land is swampy, you drain the water. When you start doing your part, you give it time, you allow it to heal, you allow it to cure. It's a process. Then you have a solid foundation. It may take long, but at the end of the day, your building will be there standing, and you'll be proud of what you have built. So scarcity mentality affects the poor, and it doesn't help them make decisions at the right time. The second one is the poor only thinks linear income. And that is the biggest undoing of an average poor person. They only earn in one direction. Their income is always mathematically capped. So it is fixed, because you go to work 8 a.m., close 5 p.m., wait for 30 or 15 days, then you get paid. Then that cycle continues again. Mind you, even though your income is mathematically capped, your expenses is not capped. The expenses keeps growing, and the income is not growing. You wait for your employer to increase salary, maybe at the end of the year, and the employer increases the salary by maybe 3% or 5%. But in the course of that year, inflation has gone up by 8 or 10%. So even the increment in salary is not matching up with the rate of inflation. So you must ensure that you do not think linear. You should be exponential in your thinking if you want to come out of that trap. So one of the ways you can do that is to develop skills beyond what you are doing right now. Be intentional about it. Some people today, you may need to go and learn a trade. I'm telling you, forget that your BSc, MMC, PhD, whatever you are, put it aside. If you need to learn a trade, learn a trade. In fact, what I always advise people is that when you want to develop skills, make them unrelated skills. For example, if what you do in the office is that you are an accountant, if you want to develop an additional skills, please develop skills in sales. As much as you are trying to become the accountant, that is still making your income linear. Because if anything goes wrong with the way you earn income as an accountant, what happens to you? You have lost income. But if you have your income as an accountant, and you have also developed skills in sales, and apart from sales, you have also done some trades, things that are handy, right? And you are not just doing it because you want to participate. You are doing it because you want to start a business where you have multiple people doing it. Imagine if you take time to go and learn how to cut hair. Not because you want to become a barber, but because you want to start a barber shop. But you are telling yourself, I don't want to go into a business that I do not have skill about. So you took 3 to 6 months to learn it. And the next thing, you open a barber shop. That way, you are able to guide the barbers better. That's your exposure, that's your experience, that excellence touch, you bring it into it. But before you know it, from one barber shop, it becomes 2, it becomes 3, and it keeps growing. That is a way to, at least you are building muscles for business. Who would have believed that the guys that started GT Bank, the first business they did together was barbing salon? Who would have believed? The same guys that started the GT Bank that we know today, that is one of the biggest banks in Nigeria. That was the first business they did together. But of course, they did it differently. They sought for a unique location where high network people lived in. And that was how they started. And today, see what their businesses have become. So you must tell yourself, I do not want to remain a linear income earner. That should be part of the decisions you will make within these 28 days. For those of us listening, if you are not a part of the Pertinence Group community, you may want to open, check the link there, scan the code, or send an SMS or chat the number that we have on the screen. And all you want to do is you want to know how you can become a millionaire this year working with the Pertinence Group. We have several opportunities to become millionaires this year. If you want to become a millionaire this year, 2026, if you have never seen 1 million before, I promise you, in fact, maybe we should do it this way. Wise man, with your permission, will you agree with me that for those that want to enroll to work with Pertinence through this our series, right, and they want to become millionaires this year via selling or partnering with Pertinence, that both of us will mentor them?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
they must follow instructions. Whatever we do, we are busy, but we can create time. So guys, begin to admit people to enroll, to be mentored. Those that have not made millions before and they want to make millions this year through Pertinence alone, through Pertinence Group, there are opportunities in banking, in real estate, in agriculture, in hospitality, several things, in tech, that can help you become a millionaire. So this is for those that have never said, I earned a single income for myself of 1 million naira and above, and you want to earn it this year. Go right now and enroll. We will allow people to enroll between now and the end of this 28-day series. It's an opportunity, it's a window. Both of us will create time to mentor you. And the goal is, by the time this year is ending, everybody in that group must earn a minimum 1 million. We want to see how, even in a single income, $1 million and above, will come into your account, because we want to open you up to the world of exponential income. This is an offer that wasn't planned, but it just occurred to me that that is part of what we can do to prove to people that this 28 days is not a fluke. So for as many people that are ready, you are committing yourself to working with us at Pertinence Group, and you want to make your millions, we will create special times for you. But you must follow the basic instructions, the basic rules. The third one is social gravity, and that's what we want to talk about, social gravity. Now, this simply talks about the people that you mingle with. It has always been said, if you hang around 5 poor people, automatically, it's just a matter of time, you are the 6th poor person, because you are equal to the average of the 5 or 6 people that are closest to you. So if the 5 or 6 people closest to you are rich people, you are equal the average of those 5 or 6 people. So you must make up your mind to intentionally change your network. Now, people always worry about this by saying, oh, I live in Okokomaiko, right? And I looked around me, I can't see too many rich people. The church I attend, there are no rich people there. That's the biggest mistake you are making. The closest people to you might be people you have never met one-on-one before. Yes. I was filling a form recently, and one of the questions they asked me in that form was that I should talk about a time that I was able to hack into something more like hacking, but it should be non-tech, not like you're hacking into a software, but you hacked into something, right, without the permission of, something like that, something, a special thing that you have done. And it was easy for me to write about a mentor that I hacked into the operating system that he lived by, such that before meeting him at all, right, I already can tell what his life is about, how he thinks, how he does. In fact, when he wants to speak at times, I can almost say the next thing that he will be saying without meeting him one-on-one. And that's how you can tell people that are closest to you. You can find mentors online that will become your closest friends. You have not met them, but the time you spend with them is more than the time you spend with the people on the street. That's what we're talking about. So immerse yourself into gathering online mentors. We're on this series right now. Imagine spending time. We have 28 days. And you told yourself that even after the 28 days, you want to do a retreat with it. And you are spending time every day, listening. And you have other mentors like that online, that you create more time listening to them than the time you take to listen to poverty talks. Your life will change totally. So we are not just here to tell you you can change the rules. We are telling you how you can make it happen. These tips, they look simple, but they are practicable. They are practicable. You can begin to take steps right now in that direction. And I just want to close with this. If you are desperate enough, you will adjust those numbers. That was what we did. We did not start by saving 20%. We were aggressive about saving more. So rather than doing 50, 30, 20, it was 50, 10, 40 for us. 50% for needs, 10% for wants, 40% for savings and investment. Man, you will look like you are like an unserious person to most people. You will not hang out, you will not eat at restaurant, you will not go partying, you will not buy expensive things, but you know what you are building. By the time you are out building, people will be shocked by the amount you have raised. Now, let me tell you something. You have to start with savings, whether you like it or not. You know the illustration I gave earlier about building a skyscraper? It applies also to savings and investment. If you have never been on this journey before, let me be sincere with you, start with savings. Most of the time, you are in a hurry to do investment and you make mistakes. Enroll on Genius by PettySave. Automate your savings. That's the first step. Not starting with savings and jumping into investment is like building on skyscraper on the swamp without draining the water. You might make a lot of mistakes. But what savings does for you, it first gives you a confidence that you have left the level of stress. Because the problem with low income or no income is that it introduces stress into your life. And you know what stress does to you? It makes you take bad decisions. And once you are making bad decisions, you won't have assets. And once there is no asset, you are back to no income again. So it's no income, stress, bad decisions, no assets, no income. And you continue in that cycle all the rest of your life. But that will not be your portion. Wise man, take it on.
Wow, awesome. I think one of the things we want to do here is not just to talk, but to get you to act.
Yeah.
So it would be nice to start plugging you into the wealth circle. The first wealth circle that we have agreed today is that if you want to make millions, all right, working with the things that we do in Pertinence Group, let them know, fill the bit.ly link, and I indicate that I want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Our back office will get across to you, and they will give you an opportunity for us to design a mentorship series for a particular period of time to mentor you to be able to achieve that goal. The second one will be the opportunity that we have given for people to come and co-own many things with us in Pertinence, because we know that individually we might not be able to do much, but together we can form a formidable force. I think one time when we are going to build a particular hotel, we opened up for fractional ownership, where you can be a part owner of a hotel without necessarily building anything. You just invested your money. And I think if you also chat us, that opportunity is still available, maybe at a higher price, but it's better high than none. All right. So you can be a part of it. But the major one that would like many of you that can afford it is not small money, all right, but it's all of us coming together to form a great bond that can do great things. Is the bank that we are offering you opportunity for you to be a part of what we are doing. What we are doing is heavy. It's beyond just banking. There are lots of more things that we can't actually even discuss openly like this. All right. That's why we always have a private session where we get to run people through that. So this is one of the areas where you get to plug in and be part of the rich. All right. The rich with the poor will say, I cannot afford it. The rich will ask, how can I afford it? So everything I'm saying now, don't say I cannot afford it. Look at how can I afford it and ensure that you do all that you can to plug in. And that one we have also done is to make people farmers without them going to farm. You are not lifting a hole, but you have a real farm where crops are planted, where all the farming activity goes on, where we do all the harvesting on your behalf, we sell and you we remit money into your account. Now you are a farmer. If tomorrow, after the contract ends, you say, come, I want to take over my farm by myself, I want to farm it, come and take over, we give it to you. So in that aspect, we have Cassava Island and we have the palm origin. So Cassava Island is the one where we focus on planting cassava and we're able to sell this cassava and give you a fixed return on investment of what you have done. But you are the owner of the land. After the contract, you can take over the land. The second one is palm origin, where you get to have a palm fruit plantation. All right. And you know what palm is all about. Palm oil is more expensive than crude oil, and palm oil is even more in use than even crude oil. So, and almost everything you use, the cosmetics, detergent, many things that we use today is produced by palm oil, and there are more. In fact, right now they have started using palm oil to produce biofuel that they can use to power cars and all of that. So there are many things. All right. So it's always in high demand. They are rugged and high demand. That's what we are. Our farming is rugged and high demand. So that's that. So you can be a part of those things that we are talking about, because you can't just envy the rich and remain poor. You must join the rich. The statement we made before now, that the poor does not want you to leave them, so they will give you ideas, they will give you encouragement, they will give you bad news to ensure that they keep you with them. All right. The day you come and tell your face me I slap you neighbor that you now want to go and buy land and build a house, the first thing they will plant in you is fear. Ah, so and so did it and it did not succeed. So and so did it and it did not succeed. You too, you say, if they did it and it did not succeed, who am I? You are somebody. Go and do it. You will succeed. Be the first to succeed in that circle and leave them. The rich does not want you to join them. That's why when they bring out offers, it's not within your reach. All right. There are offers that is within. Don't have you not seen the rich club? They are called billionaires club. Those days used to be millionaires club, but now it's billionaires club. This something billionaire. We belong to a particular circle called billionaires conclave. So if you are a poor person, you are not even allowed. There has to be an amount you are making for you to be able to join. The money to even join is
$10,000 to join.
$10,000 to join, and that's annual payment. It's not one time, it's annual. You know, you want to go and join Ikoyi club, join Ikeja country club. It's money. Recently, they see saying that some of those clubs they are increasing the money to join. So when we now come and say God has given us the vision of people empowerment, that whatever it's whatever it is that the rich is enjoying, that we should create systems that can help the poor plug in and now become rich through that. That is our mission. Oh. That's why we always come here to come and offer things. Somebody will be listening to me say, if they leave all these things they are saying, it's about their company. It's about our company, but come, let me
Yeah.
show you. I have evidence of people who have become millionaires, people who have
Mhm.
become billionaires with this system that we're running.
Mhm.
So we're not talking rash. Yes, it's about our company. But at the end of the day, we have a result of people who have become much more better than they can ever become in their
Mhm.
life because they are aligned with this thing that we are doing. And I want you to jump into it. Don't argue. Don't follow people who are always naysayers, always looking
Mhm.
for the negative side and not wanting to plug into the positive side. This is not test by moonlight. We are not joking. We have
Mhm.
results, proven results. You know, when we newly started the company, we're always preaching trust, trust, trust us, trust us. I've gone beyond that. If you don't trust me with all the things that we have done, then don't worry, don't worry. Maybe I'm not sent to you. The people I'm sent to, they will see what I've done and they will trust. Is it the estate that were built? Over 100 estates developed all over Nigeria? Is it the houses that were built in their hundreds? Is it
Mhm.
the millionaires that were raised in their thousands? What are we not? What are we not done?
Mhm.
So this one is not a question of we have proven record that
Mhm.
if you join our system, proven system, all right, you will get to your destination. So what we are saying today is look for any way,
Mhm.
anyhow, disconnect from the poor, connect to the rich. We also have land offers. Like this picture now, these are pictures of the day we gave out. How many cars did we give out that day? Sir? Maybe 16 cars or
16.
so. 16 cars in
Yeah.
one day. Look at all the kids. These are proven. Go and ask them. If you know any of their face, call them and ask them. Somebody collected the house. The person by the middle there collected the house. Collected
Yeah.
the car. He has collected the car. He has collected the house. There are some
Yeah.
people here now, they have collected their second, their third car. There's even
Yeah.
somebody here who have collected 4 cars. All right.
Yeah.
So we are not talking taste by moonlight. We're not talking what we have not done. We have done it. We have things to show for it. So I would like you to join us. And the land offers that we also have, we would like you to jump into it. The Eden offer, 50% discount. That land is selling like wildfire. Is in Coca. You want to buy it for investment, great. You want to buy it for immediate development, great. Just ensure that you do. This discount offer will end by the end of this particular 28 days is ending. Then on Saturday, Valentine's Day, we gave out
Mhm.
Valentine voucher, which is for everybody who listen to us. So if you are listening to us today, you only have 5 days to redeem this voucher. So
Mhm.
ensure that you click on the link and register and say, I want this voucher. I want to use to buy either land or you want to use to buy farmway. For farmway is 1 acre. If you are not buying 1 acre and above, then that 500,000 naira does not apply. So chat the number showing on your screen, scan the code on the screen, type the bit.ly link and just ensure that you take advantage of all the offerings that we have because you can't just talk, you must walk the talk. You
Mhm.
must walk the talk. It is action driven, not talk driven. All right.
Mhm.
So that at the end of the day, you will not say somebody come Lagos, come Count Bridge. Don't just come and Count Bridge, be a bridge maker. Our time is fast spent. I wish we
Yeah.
have more time to deal with this. But join us tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an awesome one. Oh, great
Definitely.
one. I think I didn't talk about the automaker offer also. We have talked about it. So take advantage
Mhm.
of that because we don't have enough time to talk about all of that.
Wow. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. And we're excited to have you all with us today, day 16. We're all set, getting ready for day 17, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Until then, we want to say bye-bye.
Clock it.
Yeah.
Until then, clock it. That's Gen Z vibe.